Hey everybody, Steve with Bruiser, Bass Addiction Gear, and Flat Out Tungstens. Today I'm going to go over kind of the rules and the virtual, aka video recorded version of the captain's meeting for the, this is the second time we've done this, the Kayak Free. Kayak Free. What does that mean? It means that I'm sponsoring a tournament and I'm going to pay the top 3 spots, and there's going to be other sponsors that are going to give away some stuff, and you have a chance to come fish on me and win stuff. It's going to be really cool. The only caveat, you have to use the Bruiser Bass Addiction Gear products. It is going to be Saturday, November 19th. We're calling it the North Lake Challenge, North Lake Kayak Challenge. I'm going to go over a couple things product-wise with us, and then I'm going to go over the rules really quick. We'll also have a copy of the rules there. I'm not too big on the kayak format. However, I have some staffers that are very familiar with it. They're going to be there to help me kind of guide my way through it, make sure it's all fair, even, and we have a good time and catch some fish. That being said, I'm going to go over a couple things before I go over the rules. Bruiser Bass Addiction Gear, Flat Out Tungstens. My prerequisite or my requirement is you have to use our baits. Now, the good part is that we have a ton of baits. If I showed them all to you, this would be a 2-hour video because we have endless colors, endless baits. BruiserBaits.com, your local tackle store. BassAddictionGear.com. Okay. The Bruiser baits are located. We do have 3 North Lake sponsoring teams. Excuse me, 3 North Lake sponsoring stores. We have Okeechobee headquarters. We have Fast Break Tackle, and we have the Lakeport bait and tackle right there in front of Harney Pond. So, and we have the new Lake and Trail. So all 4 of those stores are carrying our baits, and if you can't find something you want at those stores, you can order online. What do we have? Tons of plastics. We also have just added this year crankbaits, including square bills now online, and we do have the jerk baits online. And we have a 6 to 9 crankbait, which I don't have up here right now. I think it's tied onto one of my rods. Anything that you can think of as far as soft plastics with the Bruiser and the Bass Addiction line, you can use. Yes, you can throw swim jigs. Yes, you can throw jigs. Here's a swim jig with a crazy crawl on the back. One of my favorite. Here's a chatterbait with a slimmer swimmer on the back. Another one of my favorites when I do throw horizontal stuff. That's a staple. Here's another swim jig with a slimmer swimmer on the back. So yes, you can use our baits as trailers, or your jigs, your chatterbaits, etc., your buzz baits, your spinner baits, as long as it has one of my trailers. That being said, let's go over the rules. Most of this is very formatable, meaning it's all pretty much what you guys have done in the past. We start the morning of, we check in. I give you an identifier. That way you can put your identifier with your scale, your measuring apparatus that we'll talk about here in a minute. And we'll give you that. We'll check you in. We'll take your name down at Lake Okeechobee Park. That's the southwesternmost ramp after pulling into the park. I'll even put the, down below, I'll put the exact GPS coordinates, because a lot of people can just type in coordinates to a Garmin right now or anything, and most of our anglers know what the coordinates are. So I'll put the coordinates down below. Lake Okeechobee Park, right across the street from Okeechobee headquarters and Fast Break. We're going to check in from 6 to 7. Start time will be announced the morning of, because we will give people time if they want to ramp out right there. There's plenty of places to fish right there. Let's say you wanted to go to Harney Pond and drop in. Let's say you wanted to go to Indian Prairie and drop in. Let's say you don't want to deal with any of the main lake stuff. You want to fish some connecting canals. That's fine. As long as it's in Okeechobee, check that. As long as it's connected to Lake Okeechobee. Okay, you may proceed to your fishing locations once you've checked in and received your identifier. You cannot start fishing until the announced time. Pretty simple there. Lines in, once we announce the time, the morning of. It's a little tough to figure out right now because we got daylight savings coming up. Lines out at 1 p.m. Fish caught after 1 p.m. will not count. Check back in and give you an hour to get back. So let's say you want to make a 30-minute ride. You got 30 minutes to get your craft loaded back up and head back. We're going to check in the same place we checked out. I'll be set up there, have the tables, the trophies, the cash, the giveaways set up right there, right where we checked out the morning of. Okay, or checked in the morning of. The fish will be judged at this location, obviously. You basically take your photos and you have them out on your board, which we'll get to here in a second, and that's where we'll be judging from. We'll literally write your total link down right on the board, just like a normal traditional weigh-in, where we have weight. This time we'll be doing inches. Location, Lake Okeechobee. Launch anywhere on the lake. Immediate connected canals are legal, Hardy Pond, Indian Prairie, etc. Vessels, kayak, canoe, and SUP only. Watercraft propulsion is restricted to paddle, pedal, pull. You can use the electric motor. Rules, can only use Bruiser baits, bass addiction gear, lures. Spinner baits, buzz baits, jigs, as long as you're using one of our trailers. 10-inch minimum fish, best 5 fish. Allowed measurement boards, catch, fish stick, V2, and a hog trough. Now, I'm reading this obviously because I'm not familiar with these rules. Those are the 3 allowed. Mouth must be closed and against fence board. A lot of you already know this, but I'll go over it anyway. Mouth cracked open is a 1/2-inch penalty. Mouth wide open, yawning, obviously that's a DQ of that fish. Identifier must be visible and clear in the picture. I think that speaks for itself. Picture must be clear. If measurements are not eligible, of course that catch will be DQ'd. Even shows, and I'll post this on the rules. I mean, you can't go wrong if you have that actual photo to go off of. And most of you are familiar with the rules, so that should not be an issue. Anyway, the entire fish must be in the picture. Picture must be clear. Wear your PFD. There's another tournament coming out of the south end. Big boats. Probably won't get a lot of traffic up on the north end, but we might. And I want everybody to be safe because those guys will be running a little hot. So make sure that you wear your safety jackets, life jackets, and some of you wear flag or will put your flags up for extra, awareness, if you will. That's awesome by me. Nets and grippers, fish grip, boca grip may be used for landing fish during the tournament competition, but make sure you take the grippers out when you weigh the fish, of course, or excuse me, when you measure the fish. Fish may not be retained on stringers or live wells. Obviously, you're taking a nice photo of them via the rules, you're releasing them. Pretty cool. And once again, artificial Bruiser bass addiction, no live bait. It's pretty explanatory, self-explanatory. Please wet the board before measuring. So once again, Bruiser bass addiction gear, flat out tungstens, kayak free. We did one of these a couple years back, and then we had some issues. We just couldn't had some issues up north. We couldn't get this thing going back again. We're happy to have it back. I don't want to forget about the kayak and the solo anglers out there that are in personal watercrafts. I want to do something and give back to that segment. So come out, fish with us. What do you have to lose? Get some of these baits, try them out. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Everybody can find me on Facebook. Come out and hang out with us. Have a good time. We're going to give away, I got 4 sponsors that are giving away stuff. I'm going to give away some grab bags. Come out, have a good time. It is the North Lake Kayak Free, and it is Saturday, November 19th, Lake Okeechobee Park. Come out and see us. I can't wait to get this thing under wraps and get going. It's going to be a good time, and hope to see everybody out there. Steve, Bruiser Bass Addiction Gear, Flat Out Tungstens, signing off. See you out there. Tell your friends. It's going to be a good time.